You know, I'm noticing a pattern with my videos. That is, of course, I really like looking at stuff from my childhood and saying, hey, how easily could these things murder me? Doesn't matter what it is. Nintendo, Snoopy, Santa Claus. If it exists, I want to know if it can punch me in the face. So with Disney being a huge part of my childhood, that obviously breeds the question. Which character from Disney can rip my arms off the fastest? But Disney is more than just like animated movies. They're also the live action movies, the cartoons, there's Star Wars, Marvel, Muppets. Like there's so much to Disney. Who is the strongest character from this colossal roster? The one above all, he's like an omnipotent god. But like besides that, and you know, again, there's so much to pick from, who is the strongest Disney character? So that's what I want to do here. I want to look through every single like facet of Disney and try to pinpoint who is the strongest. You know, based off of what they do in their respective works and their feats. And this is like the third time I've done this. You should know this by now. Basically, I just want to go over every single category that I have here. I have 8 categories from Disney, and I want to see who can murder me the quickest. Disney. These are in no particular order besides the fact that I'm leaving the like the main animated movies for last. That's the big one. That's all I need to say. But the happiest little bloodshed commenced. Pixar characters surprisingly aren't all that strong, all things considered. I mean, granted, a lot of them include like small animals like bugs and fish and rats. Even then, most of the strongest characters aren't much to speak of, like the cast of Monsters Inc. or Cars. I mean, there's Soul with weird abstract characters, but there's nothing really pointing to them being strong. If only there was a movie by Pixar starring super-powered individuals. Wait, there is one! The Good Times with the Incredibles. Mr. Incredible's whole deal is that he's strong, the strongest man on Earth. Even though in the sequel he couldn't punch through some pipes, but whatever, I'm not Mr. Writer Man. Bob's exact strength is never stated, but it can be found using the Kronos computer and the DVD special features. There's a hero called Hypershock who can create magnitude 6 earthquakes, which is labeled as strong on the Richter scale, so you know it's strong. This guy beat Android version 3 but lost Android version 4, meaning Bob is leagues above him since he beat the 8th Android, and Syndrome always builds him far stronger than before. So strong that not even Mr. Incredible could hurt it. Wait, wouldn't that make the Android the strongest character? Actually, yeah, it totally would. The strongest version is the 10th version, who took on all 4 Incredibles and Frozone at once, and as stated before, could only be taken down by its own attacks. This would make it at least town level via scaling off Hypershock, plus even higher since he's 6 levels above the one that killed him. He was only taken down by all the heroes teaming up on him, which confirms something we all know. Friendship is stronger than murder weapons. Star Wars is weird when it comes to power. There's the Force, obviously, but a lot of the characters are resistant to it, like Jabba and Watto. Are we seriously going to say that Jabba is the strongest Star Wars character? Yes, Jabba the Hutt is an omnipotent being that has taken mortal form and is currently banging your mother. Just kidding. The strongest Star Wars character is actually a Force user. The sad news is that's one no one cares about. In the Clone Wars cartoon, we learned about a family of ancient powerful Force users, including the father. He's a member of the Celestials and is, according to the show runners, the strongest Force user in the series. Seriously. This Olmec-looking mother fricker is stronger than Yoda, Vader, Luke, Palpatine, all of them. More specifically, he's so strong that he was able to create a separate dimension filled with stars. He was also able to hold off Abeloth, aka the mother character who is in Star Wars canon, unlike Father, but the feat is still usable, so frick you. Anyways, the mother was stated to lay waste upon the galaxy, which is pretty dope. He's also stronger than both his daughter and son. $50 for every genius can guess what they're named. And they are so strong that them clashing could destroy the galaxy. So yeah, pretty strong old raisin dude. Also, why does the daughter look exactly like Palpatine? Freaking one above all. He's literally God. He's supposed to represent all the writers of Marvel Comics. You can't get stronger than Stan Lee himself. Oh, what about Galactus and Dormammu and Thanos? Yeah, they're strong. Who do you think made them? I don't need to go into this anymore. The entire Marvel Omniverse was created by him. It's an extension of his power. Not much else to say besides that. So when thinking of who to give the award to the strongest Disney cartoon show character, Bill is obviously the first to come to mind. Throughout the show, everyone keeps mentioning how powerful he is. 4 states he can destroy the multiverse, and since he's been studying him for years, we have no reason to doubt him. Time Baby states the same thing, and he can literally see into the future. Speaking of which, Bill killed the entire Time Force, besides London, with a single point. and they literally keep time from flowing. So William Cypher is obviously a multiversal threat. But you know who's stronger? A fake lizard. Hear me out. In the Gravity Falls book, Curse of the Time Pirate's Treasure, you're introduced to the all-powerful god of the Gravity Falls universe, the giant axolotl. He's stated to be far stronger than Bill ever could be, and could even revive him if he recites his name. Speaking of which, you may be wondering if this even counts as a cartoon character since he only appeared in the book, but to that I say, you're stupid, because he clearly appears in the series finale. And by appears I mean that his name is said. And by clearly I mean Bill spells his name backwards. Shut up, I'm not making an entire section just for book characters. Now, while I do think Axolotl is the most powerful, I would like to briefly mention these three shows. Wander Over Yonder is definitely the most powerful when it comes to Toon Force, but in terms of physical strength, main cast either large planet level via scaling to major threat destroying a bunch of statues larger than a planet, or star level via Wander kicking a ship that destroyed a sun. The strongest characters are Miss Myrtle, who was stated to destroy the universe, and the Celestial Being, who was stated to have unlimited power, so he should at least be more powerful than Myrtle. But still, they're far weaker than Bill and Axolotl. Because, you know, multiverse is bigger than universe, big shock. In Phineas for Doofenshmirtz has made a few naders that can rewrite space-time, those being the Accelerator Nader and the Do-Over Nader. Actually, no, I'm kind of Doofenshmirtz expert. Though not only is that weaker than the Axolotl, those naders only can do that when they malfunction. I wouldn't be surprised if he could actually make an nader that can destroy the universe, even the multiverse, but as of now, he can't. Finally, there's Starverses, the only show of these four I have not seen. I'm just not the biggest fan of shows where the main character commits genocide, I'm sorry. But we're talking about how strong they are, not how moral they are. So, how strong are the cast of Starverses? Well, when it comes to the strongest character in the show, it would have to go to... Anyways, Mr. Keyboard Smasher is stated to be the strongest person in the High Magic Council, which includes Omnitraxis Prime, I hope I said that correctly, a living space-time continuum, and Moon, who could defeat and almost beat the guy who previously one-shot the previously mentioned space-time continuum. So again, universal. No matter what show you throw at me, there is one truth. Nothing will be stronger than the magical flying amphibian boy. Okay, so I wasn't going to do this segment originally. I didn't think there was going to be any notable characters in Disney sitcoms. They're mostly pretty normal, but I was able to find one. And I'm just going to say it, Alex Russo from the Wizards of Waverly Place could beat Superman. Maybe not a lot of the comic version of Superman. Most of the non-comic versions, she's that strong. Alex was said to be the strongest wizard of her generation, meaning she's stronger than Ronald. Ronald moved a bunch of stars in the sky just to ask Alex out. Moving stars is pretty freaking impressive. But you know what's more impressive? Moving 557 of them. And she's stronger than this guy. She's also in possession of the Stone of Dreams, which can answer literally any wish it's asked of. Alex has the power of the gods at her fingertips. No one can stop her. I remember when I was younger, there was a joke debate on who would win between Alex and Harry Potter. And let me just say this. Not only could Alex reduce Harry to what looks like a pile of ash, she could effortlessly stomp the entire Harry Potter universe. This annoying teenager from a mediocre kids show that no one remembers is an unstoppable god. Bow down, okay? Okay? I am overhyping this just a tiny bit. The strength part is accurate, but doesn't scale to her durability. The best durability feat I could find is this teacher surviving getting hit by an asteroid, which is obviously impressive, but it's nowhere near her strength, or even the other characters that I've mentioned here. But it isn't who'd win in a fight, it's just who could hit the hardest. And it would have to go to Alex Russo. So, I'm gonna cheat here.
Mamu, I've come to bargain.
Alright, first thing, does this even count? No, probably not. MCU films are probably separate from the rest of Disney movies, but I mean, it's still a live-action movie produced by Disney, so I'll allow it. Besides, he's by far the strongest of any of the characters in any live-action Disney film. Dormammu's plan in the movie is to absorb every single universe and dimension into his own dark dimension, and was super close to doing it with Earth if Strange didn't stop him. And while nowhere near as strong as his comic counterpart, he's still powerful enough to be considered multiversal in the MCU, and he's easily the strongest in it. Yes, I know, Thanos is apparently the strongest in the galaxy, but for one, he's only that when he has a gauntlet. 2, Thanos has never shown anything near the scale of Dormammu. And 3, Dormammu isn't from this galaxy, so eat my entire sandwich. Okay, I know this is kind of cheating, so I will give it the runner-up for this one specific section. And that is, of course, wait, what? Sorry, I didn't start the It's Thantos. Who is Thantos? He's from the film Twitches, the main villain of it. His plan is to rule over the country of Coventry, which is its own separate universe. He does this by engulfing all of Coventry in darkness, which again is an entire universe. So he's a runner-up. He's going to be a needy buttface who doesn't like loopholes. Okay, this is by far the most weirdest, obscure thing I'm talking about in this video. But this is just so weird and it's just so... I don't even know that I need to talk about it. I am of course talking about PK, a 1996 French-only comic that envisions Donald Duck as a superhero. I know very little about this comic because again, it's only in French and I couldn't find a translation, but all that matters is time. Not the concept, but the character, Time. He's basically the embodiment of time across the entire PK universe. How big is the PK universe? Well, there's the imaginary time of Time Zero, which is portrayed as perpendicular to the regular flow of time. There's also Moldrock's prison, which is tetradimensional. So basically, time is a fifth dimensional entity, as you do. I don't know much about his character besides that. He's super obscure, and attempting to research him just gives me the time of Pakistan. He doesn't seem that important in the comic, to the point where he doesn't even have a page from the Disney Wiki. So yeah, he's weird, but easily the second strongest character here. Yes, he's the only one here, besides one above all, that is extra dimensional. It's just a fifth dimensional time prison. What is being smoked in French Disney? But enough with the small fry. Let's get on to what you really came here for. I have no idea where to start here. There's so many notable characters to talk about in this one. There's Ursula, who can control over the entire ocean with the trident and create thunderstorms and whirlpools effortlessly. Also froze over an entire island, create life, even yeet a snowball-rated Hans, who lives in a different island, and these are all by mistake. Stitch in the show, which isn't a movie I know, but it's canon, so shut up, was able to disperse a giant cloud that formed over Hawaii, lift 3,000 times his body weight, and fight a bunch of characters who could harm him. These guys are all strong, we can go higher. Maybe. There's a lot of articles on this subject, and they make a lot of weird stretches. Hudson is a character I see pop up in a lot of these, but she doesn't really have any notable feats besides making a bunch of thorns appear around town, which is impressive, but not as much as the three I mentioned. Ralph appears as well, but I think it's just more because he's stated to be strong and that's it. He can destroy a building and punch a monster the size of a building in a god-awful sequel, but that's not much compared to the rest of the ones we talked about. Then there's a certain mountain-sized elephant in the room. Chernobog is instead be one of the strongest villains in Disney, but it's kind of hard to scale characters in different universes. And in the movie, he does really nothing but dab on some random demons. Unless we get some deep Night on Ball Mountain sequel where we see young up-and-coming devil boy Chernobog accidentally fail making a pizza and then he makes a multiverse, I can't really put him as the strongest character here. When it comes to the strongest though, I have 3 movies I feel like could take the title. First is Momoa. Unsurprising, since it's about gods. Maui was capable of pulling the sun at one point, and both Tamtoa and Taka could harm him. Heck, Tafiti made his fish hook in the first place. But of the final 3 films I want to talk about, Maui and the crew were actually the weakest. However, while I'm on this, I want to talk about this one article I found while searching for this video, saying that Moana is the tallest Disney character at 7'5", turning her to the average size for a rooster. If she's actually this tall, doesn't matter. How on earth are you going to claim that Moana is the strongest Disney character when in this film alone, you have a 50-foot crab monster, a living island, even freaking Maui's taller than her in the image you show in this article? I hate the internet so much. Anyways, this leads us to the 2 films I feel like could actually contain the strongest Disney character in the animated library. First, let's talk about the other god, Hercules. Hercules, while still mortal, was able to beat all 4 titans at once by yeeting them into space after they all just previously stopped Zeus. He also killed the Cyclops when he was weakened, and eventually became a true god, far stronger than before and was capable of one-shotting Hades. He should be at the very least comparable to Zeus, who controlled a massive amount of stars to create a constellation, putting him far above the one that Maui pulled. Another character of note is the cast of Aladdin. Genie could spin planets, beat a guy who turned into 3 stars upon defeat, and can turn the sun into his face, as we all strive to do. But he's not the character I wanted to highlight here. Genie may be strong, but remember, Jafar wished to be an all-powerful genie, and in the sequel he stopped Genie in song form. The biggest show of strength he has is growing to the size of a solar system. Because you know what? Frick you. Frick the laws of gravity. So, Hercules or Jafar, the solar system thing is the strongest feat here, but this is just a one-time thing while Herc is more consistent. Let's be honest, if Jafar could actually turn into the size of the solar system and, you know, stay that size and that strength, why wouldn't he do that in the actual film, you know? Why wouldn't he do that to just kill Aladdin? So, who wins? Well, by some freaking miracle, Disney himself answered this. In the Hercules TV show that you don't remember, there was an actual episode where Hercules and Aladdin cross over. Hades revives Jafar so they can go after each other's nemesis. Hades sends Pain and Panic after Aladdin, who defeats him with no problem. Jafar fights Hercules, who beats him, and Jafar even states that Hercules is too much for him to handle, so that settles it. The Titan defeating, constellation scaling, God amongst gods is the strongest character in Disney. What a freaking shocker. If I had to rank these guys from the weakest to the strongest, it would go on the droid Alex, Hercules' father, Phantos Dormammu, Axolotl, Time, and then of course the one above all. Of course, I'm missing a lot of different Disney subsections and stuff like that, so let's quickly go over who I would give this title to and why I didn't include them on the actual, proper video. There's really no notable park characters for this. If I had to, it would just go to a big animatronic for being really big, or scaling someone to a movie character. Muppets I really wanted to include, but all the characters pretty much scale with each other, so it's hard to pick one character. And it's even arguable if they are this strong, because in universe, they're just performing a show. Disney also owns ABC, which most notably had the show Once Upon a Time. I excluded it because the peak of the show isn't a character, it's a weapon. The author is Quill, which could create an entire alternate realm and is used by multiple characters, including Isaac Heller, Henry Mills, Rumpelstiltskin, the lame one, and also, I am not joking, Walt Disney. This show is freaking stupid. Kingdom Hearts is in the same boat. The strongest thing is the entity of Kingdom Hearts, which is multiversal and can merge all of the Disney worlds together. They also own Fox, whose strongest character is, with the runner-ups being God from Futurama, who's made out of multiple galaxies, and Yivo, who's the same size. They also own Mako Studios, but I don't hate myself enough to look into that. And there we go. There's the strongest Disney character from any possible way you would look at it. I hope I successfully ruined your childhood. Or improved it, if you're a filthy garbage human being. Like me! Bye.
Also, you can eat trash.